Recently, there was a video that surfaced of artist manager. His name is Shaka Zulu. He is the longtime manager of Ludacris and other DTP members. And so recently, he was arrested, and he was involved in a shooting. He was involved in a shooting at a restaurant called 4B. You see the video, right? I watched the entire video, and I'm not going to speculate on a lot because the investigation is still unfolding. But as a professional, I'm going to tell you my opinion, and then I'm going to give you my thoughts on the situation. So this is what we know. This is what we know, right? We see there is nighttime, obviously. They're in a parking lot, and we see Shaka walking up, and there's a group of individuals. Allegedly, this is what the story is. Allegedly, the story is there were some gentlemen that came to a private event. They were charged $40 for parking, but when they got to the door, because it was a private event, they were not allowed to get in. And so they were requesting a refund for parking. Never in the history of Neverdom has that ever happened anywhere. I pay for parking, don't matter what time, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, don't matter what, you don't get a refund because sometimes, most of the time, parking is with third-party vendors, right? It's not even with the venue space. They contract that out. So anyway, all of this is alleged. So what you see in the video is Shaka coming out to meet private guests, was coming out to personally meet them because they are apparently A-list celebrities, etc., right? And so as he's coming out, one of the gentlemen approached him, right? And the gentleman is hostile, and even though it's dark, he's literally in Shaka's face. So you can tell it can't be too good. You know what I'm saying? From body language to everything, it just doesn't look good from the beginning. And you see the gentleman reach for something, and apparently, allegedly, he had a firearm on him, right? And so Shaka is trying to stop him from reaching in his pocket. At this point in time, another group of gentlemen, right? And you've seen this gentleman in the other group go to his car, get something, come back, fix his shirt. So obviously he armed himself, right? So he is a group of maybe 4 or 5 guys come over and punch Shaka Zulu in the face. They jump him, right? He's on the ground. He's literally fighting for his life. And he gets up, and the bodyguards and other people rush over there, get them off of him. He gets up, and the bodyguard is in front of him. He pushes past the bodyguard and shoots the gentleman, right? He shoots him. Then they go off camera. Now, what happens after that is still a mystery kind of, but what does need to be said is that Shaka was shot that night in the back. He was shot as well that night, right? So he ended up taking the life of one of the guys. Now, one of the guys ended up punching a girl in the face. Like, it was just a bad situation in the parking lot. And all of the video shows this. And so, Shaka Zulu is arrested. And he is charged with murder, aggravated assault, possession of a firearm during the commission of a crime, and simple battery. Okay? He held a press conference with his attorney, and he was explaining how he was actually fighting for his life. And the guy that passed away should not be treated as a victim. He actually should be treated as the aggressor. And that, Shaka Zulu was literally just trying to de-escalate the situation, and that these gentlemen perpetuated it even further, and a life was lost, right? He was arrested. He immediately posted $200,000 bond and was released. And so he's dealing with the aftermath of being shot and taking a life. This is what is happening. But as the video was being circulated online, you had a lot of internet attorneys who had so much to say about the situation. And from my professional opinion, because I teach situational awareness would have shown him that the other group of gentlemen that were coming up on the side of him, right? He probably wouldn't have been sucker punched. He probably wouldn't have been on the ground fighting for his life, being stomped out. So that's one thing. So situational awareness. Avoid, escape, defend is what I always teach. Avoid a situation, escaping a situation, defending yourself in a situation. And I teach you, this is the most important thing I teach you. I teach you how to not get in the situation in the beginning. Because you never know how it's going to go. Even if you think you're right, it's not a black and white situation. It's not a 1+1=2 situation. It's never that. It's a are you famous situation? Do you have money situation? Is a prosecuting attorney up for re-election situation? It's always, is a high profile situation. Will I get media coverage situation? Is this news covered worthy situations? Like, all of that matters. It shouldn't, because whole time the lie that's told is that justice is blind. Now, from an uneducated viewpoint, you would think that Shaka Zulu was 100% in the right. He was defending himself, and that this was a self-defense situation, open and shut case, right? However, it is not, because Shaka Zulu went past his bodyguard. He was no longer in immediate threat. Do you understand what I'm saying? I teach you this in my classes because you have to sit in front of 12 jurors, and it's called reasonable doubt for a reason, right? And the reasonable doubt means that these 12 people will have to all agree that if they were in the exact same situation, they would do what you did. Some of these people don't carry a firearm. Some of these people are afraid of firearms. Some of these people hate firearms. Some of these people have lost loved ones to firearms. They are not all of them going to be on your side. And so if you cannot, without a shadow of a doubt, think that through in the situation, right? And I know it's hard because there's a million things going on and you focused on the threat and you focused on your life. But if you can run, you should. If you can avoid it, you should, because anything outside of that is proving your innocence. And do you have $200,000 right now to post bond? Do you have $250,000 minimum to retain a lawyer to prove your innocence? Do you have access to press conferences? Do you have that to tell your side of the story legally, ethically, and get in front of the situation? If you don't have all of those things, you should probably stand down, sis. You should stand down, bruh. Because I promise you, it's not going to be worth it. It's not going to be worth it, and it's not going to be 100% in your favor, okay? Because if he was not an immediate threat, he should have shot they ass when he was on the ground. I'd have bodied every single, I'd have shot him in the foot, in the throat, in the stomach, everywhere until they got the fuck up off me. Do you understand me? Because my life is in danger. Now, in the state of Georgia, there's, we are constitutional carry. No one needs to have a permit to carry a firearm anymore. And if you feel your life is in immediate threat or imminent threat, then you are justified in the state of Georgia for using your firearm. Now, in this video, it can be questioned whether his life was an immediate threat. And that is what's going to be the prosecution's storyline. That's what they're going to go off of. That's what they're going to try to get him on all of these charges with. You no longer had the right to shoot them once they got off you. Once your bodyguard came over there and threw them off of you, you should have ran into 4B. You should have left the scene. You should have. And everybody has all these opinions of what you should have done, could have done, would have done. They weren't in that situation. You were, Shaka. But look what's happening now. Now you got everybody weighing in on your business. You got half the people on your side and the other half saying, no, your ass should go to jail and you should be charged for all of this stuff. I'm not saying he wasn't justified in using his firearm. I'm just telling you the facts. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to give my opinion in this situation, but I think if I was jumped, yeah, I would have pulled faster. I honestly would have pulled faster, but he didn't see the other guys coming because he wasn't paying attention. His peripheral vision was not, his head wasn't on a swivel, and this is the consequence of such. And, look at the guy who died. Was it worth it? Was that $40 fucking parking situation worth it? Now you looking stupid in the grave. Now your family got to bury you. GoFundMe. Now you got to, all of this for $40 for parking? When you knew your ass wasn't invited to the event in the first place? You wasn't on the guest list? These are the things, people, we have to take into consideration, all actions involved. And it's not a justification of taking life. I'm just saying, how did we get here? And these were all the facts. These were all the things.